you just think about the well-being of the girl. Any adult, any reasonable person would think, wow, something's wrong here. We need to get some help involved.
So it wasn't just about the abortion, it was also about the sexual abuse.
Hugely, yeah.
You know, and so what was the response after, you know, that video came out?
Well, the response was huge when we released the first Undercover video. I mean, it made national headlines. A lot of people found out about it. It started going viral on YouTube. And Planned Parenthood's response, because our first Undercover video was in LA. It was 5 miles away from my college dorm at the time. And their response at the time was to threaten to sue me. Planned Parenthood sent me an email saying, we're going to sue you if you don't take these tapes off of YouTube. And so thankfully, the media attention only grew off of that and more people found out.
Oh, wow.
And so they can't sue you for that?
No. I mean, ultimately, the threat was dropped. So,
okay, good.
Thankfully.
That's good to know.
God used it for good. So.
Well, now, I know your organization, you know, you don't just make the videos and do the undercover sting stuff, even though, you know, that's the cool part that we do. I know you guys are involved with a lot of other things. Like, what other types of things are you doing, and what have you seen the impact, you know, being on girls now?
Yes. One of the other things we do is we publish a national pro-life magazine called The Advocate. It's like the voice of our generation of high school and college students today who are pro-life, who want to change the country, who want to reclaim the culture and say, we're going to protect innocent human beings. And that's on over 30 colleges and high school campuses now. We have it online. We distribute about 65,000 copies. So that's one thing we focus on, creating, producing, getting out there. If anyone watching today wants to get involved with that, send us an email. So that's one thing we do. And then we also do educational programs and projects. So we create videos about, you know, what about abortion, and arguments and cool, you know, commercials, and just things that are going to educate people, inspire people to stand for life.
Have you met people that have come up to you and said, you know what, I saw one of your videos, I read one of your articles or one of your interviews, and it made me change my mind?
Yeah, that's one of the best things, when you get to talk to high school students or college students or other young people, or they've seen your work and they say, it changed my mind, I'm pro-life now.
Now, one of the things that I know we've been talking, and you know, you mentioned it early on. You said it was a human rights issue, and it's not like a faith, because you have people that are not necessarily Christians that are involved with this, right? Tell us a little bit about why it's more of a human rights issue and why it just affects everybody.
Yes, well, this is the biggest human rights issue of our day, because the whole purpose of social justice, the whole purpose of human rights, is to protect people who are weak from people who are strong. I mean, we have to protect the defenseless, right? Because that's why that's what justice is for. But when we don't protect the weakest among us, then that's a whole unjust system. And the weakest in our culture today are those that have no voice. They can't even move outside their mothers, right? We don't call them human sometimes because they might be undeveloped, or they might be too small, or we can't see them, but they're killed by the thousands. They're torn apart. Every year, over 1 million in the U.S. alone.
Over 1 million.
Over 1 million innocent human beings. It's a genocide happening.
Montana.
It's huge. It's happening around us, and most people are blind to it. So our goal is just to say, this is the human rights issue we all need to stand behind, and we all need to get up and do something.
Yeah.
We need to end abortion.
Wow, I just love your passion about that. I mean, speaking of like doing something, I mean, some people are sitting at home, you know, watching, and they're thinking like, yeah, you know what, I do want to do something. What practically can they do?
Well, there is a role for everyone to play in this fight for life, because God has given everyone special skills, a certain amount of time, special qualities to be used. So you can go to our website, which is liveaction.org, liveaction.org, and they can check out how to get involved on the page there. But I would just encourage them to get on their knees and ask God and say, God, what can I do? I realize that we live in a war, a culture war right now, and I want to be a warrior. I want to do something, and God will lead you. I mean, that's what I did, and that's what each one of us can do.
Yeah, that's remarkable. If someone's like,
I have a question for you, real quick. Okay, so because you just called it a culture war, are you ever threatened? I mean, this is a really hot issue.
Yeah.
Is there any
besides the lawsuit, you know,
besides the lawsuit,
death threats,
has there been anything like that for what you do?
I mean, definitely we've gotten threats. There's definitely been some hate mail, some death threats, some death phone calls, but the good news is most people are on our side, and most people are supportive, because they realize that this is the truth, that this is the movement to be a part of, and they want to come out and be part of the fight.
It's amazing because she's so sweet.
Yeah,
so
she
strong
is.
and fiery inside.
Yeah, no, you totally are, and I think you're great. You know, you're a great spokesperson, you know, for this movement. Do you think this generation is changing? Do you think the younger generation is becoming more pro-life?
Totally.
And why do you think that is?
I think it is because young people realize that it's ultimately death and unhappiness to be part of a culture that supports abortion, to be part of a culture that is full of divorce, broken marriages, teen pregnancy. I mean, I think young people realize deep in their hearts that they want to stand for something more than that, and they want to fight for life. They want to fight for a cause. So when we get the message out, when we get the truth out there, and we show them that this can be done, then they want to get involved. They're inspired. They want to be part of it.
Well, Lila, thank you so much for stopping by. I know Reba and I have enjoyed talking with you, and I'm sure our audience has enjoyed, everything that you've shared, and we really, really want to support you and what you're doing. If you want to find out more about this movement for life, you can visit Lila's website, and we're going to have a wonderful discussion at the Top 3 table after this. Enjoy the music.